time to come up with that one, didn't it, Dan?
To do what?
That's pretty offensive, Denny.
I don't care.
I understood
I'm
that.
not gonna lose any
Yeah,
sleep over that.
I did too.
It just seems to me that there should be absolutely no reason to open that up to the public. I mean, if we don't need to advertise it, we don't need to advertise it. I bet I can have a few people here come apply for it. Pretty simple.
It's only on here for discussion, right? We're
Can
not taking
can
any
I,
action.
I can just speak for the committee. It was brought up at our July 9th, July 9th council, or committee meeting, that there had been some discussion brought up on what do we do with the contract for the airport manager. And we looked at two potential options, and we thought we needed to talk about it in July, because if we did decide to open it up, we needed time to get the bids out and, you know, those types of things. So that's why we discussed it at the July meeting. We looked at the pros and cons. We talked about the fact that, you know, there might be other people that would apply for the position. One of the things that we ran into when we hired Jonathan, when Jim retired, was that we had most of the applicants were already managing other airports, and they wanted to do 2 or 3 airport management jobs at the same time. And at that time, the committee and Jim himself said that that wasn't something that was a workable situation, that we needed somebody that would be full-time with the Independence Airport. So that was a consideration that, okay, if we open it up, probably most of the applicants are already going to be managing another airport. This is going to be they'll be splitting their time between airports. The other thing that was brought up as we talked about it was we went through the things that the airport manager, the FBO, does, and we really, I know there are others that would disagree with us, but we basically felt that he was doing a good job, that we didn't find anything that he had not done that we had asked him to do. And so the feeling is that if it's not broken, why spend a lot of time and a lot of money putting ads out, having people put applications in, and going that route. So that that's what our recommendation is. That's a recommendation. If the council would vote not to renew the contract, then we would certainly put ads out, and but we thought, to be fair to other people putting applications in, and to our current manager, FBO, that put it before the council, and if whatever the council decides, then that gives us time to do it. So
when will this appear back on? Not till August, or?
You can do it at any time between now and the last meeting in August.
Bob, I agree with you, and I think if our new applicants don't meet our requirements, there's no reason to even consider them. But I think it should be open to the public.
yep,
That's what I think. I think the Independence deserves a chance to find a better person at less money. That's what I think.
that's
And maybe that person isn't out there, but I think Independence deserves the chance to be in that position. And you're not going to be in that position if you just, rubber stamp it.
well, that's two council members, so there's 5 others. If when we vote, I just would hope we would vote in time to put apps out.
But if nobody even puts an app out, you've still got him, right? He's still there. He's still going to put the app out.
Yeah, but my feelings, if you started advertising for his job, how is he gonna put everything he has into the position when he doesn't know if he's gonna have it?
What do you mean?
I mean, if you're now advertising for his job that he has, and we feel he's doing a good job, why is he gonna give 100% into a job that he might not have tomorrow?
How far is it between now and what is it, September?
Still,
October
you're putting a lot
1st.
into this based on us, so.
I
I think if a guy does a good job, we should reward him instead of start looking for new people. He hasn't did anything wrong that I know of. I think he's did a good job. Airport looks nice. He's maybe doing things different than he used to, but like I've said to people, when I quit the light plant, I knew it was gonna close. But God, it's doing better now than when I was up there. And that's what happens when you change sometimes. And I think we're doing good with the guy we got.
Just remember that sometimes it'll be better when it changes. So
Ah.
if we changed it, maybe it'd get
But he
better.
hasn't asked to quit his job.
Huh?
And he's doing a good job. He hasn't asked to quit. He hasn't retired.
He did retire once. He handed me his resignation one time.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. The next day he wrote me a letter and said he didn't mean it.
So,
And
But I think we
there
should-
probably is a lot more to that story, and that should not even be
I think
part of
we-
this.
yeah.
If I
You
may,
know- you know what I
three
would-
members of the council have made a recommendation
I-
to the council that we move forward with this, with
I think we should
this,
start
keep
listening to
maintaining this
committee.
guy. I'm suggesting we buy the contract as it stands.
Okay, I wanna make, I wanna,
Just
I
move
wanna,
on, my God.
I know, I wanna make, I just wanna offer a suggestion to the committee. I think rather than go through this every year, and I think, regardless of who it's with, unless you're really not happy with somebody, I think you ought to consider like a longer contract, a 3-year contract or
That's
something.
actually what
That's
this
what
was.
it is. It is a
Yeah,
three-year
this
contract.
is
This
a
one is
three-year
3?
contract.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Okay.
goes
Yeah,
till
those dates, yeah.
2018.
Okay.
We are reducing it from 3 years, 3 months to 3
Okay.
years.
I just don't think that every year we should go through this.
no,
I-
we're not.
From this point
Okay,
there, this-
I'm, my mistake.
Yep.
Okay.
Next.
Sorry.
And this is just
No, I
discussion.
just-
Do we
I
even
should-
need
Just
to
discussion.
take
I should have seen
a
that.
motion, or
Can we act on it tonight?
it's just discussion, so we
Yeah, no,
cannot?
it's only on for discussion, you
Yeah.
can't act on it.
Okay,
And you didn't amend your agenda to act on it, so.
okay.
Should we put it on the agenda for next time?
Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, next on my agenda
I should have read it,
is
shouldn't I?
municipal
I'll
building,
sustain.
and this again is for discussion.
I should have.
Is everybody listening?
No,
Know where
I
we're at?
wasn't.
I don't think you're the only one.
At Monday's meeting, the council asked to have the municipal building put on the agenda for discussion. We do have it here for your discussion. A couple of things I wanted to update you on so that you're aware of it and the public is aware of it. We did take, last spring, we took bids for a new police station, city offices, council chambers building. It came in significantly higher than what we anticipated. We rejected the one and only bid at that point. What we have done since that time, we've taken a step back, we've reevaluated the building itself. We've also taken another look at what our other options are. We're looking extensively right now at renovation of our current facility, moving the police department, what would it look like if the police department moved into our current building, moving the fire department in part out of here, extending additional bays to the south end of the fire department, opening up more space. Would that create enough room for the police department, city offices to function here? How does that change the cost structure? We don't know, but that's still hanging out there. But we are taking a look at, is there a more cost-effective way to use the current facilities, and what would it look like? I don't have any information for you on that tonight, but at this point, it's still being looked at, just to see if we can find a cheaper way to do it that still makes sense. I think the real challenge will be the ADA piece, whether or not we have to add an elevator to get to the second floor. And that's going to be the most expensive piece that I can see.
Because did we get even our lift approved
Our lift
at this
is,
point?
our lift is working. The state inspector has not been back to take the tag off.
So
He
it's
was-
still are not being allowed to be
It
used.
cannot be used today. The elevator company did come twice to get it fixed. It has been fixed. It's been through the safety inspection. We just need the state inspector, when he gets back here, to test it and approve it.
Al, let me get this straight. So you're kind of suggesting that we add on to the fire department? I mean, as far as any structural?
Structurally adding fire bays.
Has
yes.
anybody checked to see if we could get any grants to add to the fire department?
we've talked about just about any place we can to find the money, yes.
Just seems like that's gonna be easier to do, should be easier to do than finding grant money for the city hall, you know.
Well, grant money for public safety in general is where most of the money is. We have looked at it in the past. We haven't found anything to this point, but again, we keep looking.
One of the things I think to make clear, we've talked about, we are not automatically selling $750,000 in bonds.
No,
That's
there's no,
what some people have kind of thought that's the,
you have the authorization to bond for municipal facilities. Should you choose to, you are not going to issue any bonds. Nobody's asking you to issue any bonds until we have a number to issue the bonds for. We can't just issue the debt without having a project. So until we take bids, until we understand what it is that you're asking to fund, there's no reason to sell a bond. So no, there are no bond sales for municipal facilities at all at this point. And I appreciate the clarification. There never was a suggestion that we issue a bond hoping that we get a project that fits. The second half of the bonding proposal from last year was predicated on the fact that we know what our costs are before we issue it.
Any other discussion in regards to that? Okay. Then we are down to reports.
Well, I do have,
Oh, you have something?
I do have one more discussion item that we
Under
wanted to
new
add.
business?
Under FMLA.
Yes, that's right.
We had a situation earlier this year where an employee was on an extended family medical leave absence. Our personnel policy is very clear on the order of leave that we require them to use, starting with vacation, casual days, personal time, sick leave being the last accumulated leave that they're allowed to utilize while they're on a family medical leave absence. We settled that grievance in a non-binding settlement because the employee was very close to the end of their annual anniversary, and it was anticipated that some or all of the vacation that they had not used that they were fighting for may be lost on their anniversary date. The issue was that there was no payback, if you will, for